Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Morrowind. The last time when we left off, I was at the entrance to the Hlaren Ancestral Tomb. Oh, let's just head down, see what this place has in store. I'll just tell you, actually. It's a vampire den, and the vampires are of the Quara bloodline, so I still want to avoid being infected for a myriad of reasons. I'm not ready to be a vampire yet at all, and even if I were, these are not the right bloodline. So I have no interest in joining Clan Quara, so I'm going to take care to avoid infection. Take the arrows off that one. That one doesn't have anything I need. Neither does that one. So let's loot this room. This place is very small and very straightforward. It's not going to take us long at all to clear it out. There's a Shrine of St. Veloth here. There's a comberry in the sack. And the prize for this trip is a new skill book called Trap, a sneak skill book, which we will read and take off the book list. Excellent. Trap, by Anonymous. I saw the gold and I took it. A different man might not have, I know that, and from time to time I think back on the hour when I saw the gold and took it. You see, I was hungry. Isn't it ironic? I don't remember much else about that night, but the gold and the hunger. I don't remember the name of the tavern, or even the village, but I believe it was somewhere in southern Vardenfell. I can't really be certain. For some time I sat dumbly in my chair, my mind occupied with nothing but the pain in my stomach. If you've never been truly hungry from days of no food, you can't know what it's like. You can't concentrate on anything. It wasn't until a figure to my left got up from the table to get a drink and left a stack of gold marks behind that I snapped to awareness. From this moment on, my memory is crystalline. My eyes to the gold, my eyes to the stranger's back walking calmly toward the barmaid, my hand to the gold in my pocket. I'm up from the table and out the door. For just a moment I look back. The stranger has turned to look my way. He wears a hood, but I can feel his eyes meet mine. I swear I can scent a smile. Out into the street and behind some barrels I crouched down, waiting for my pursuer. One benefit of a lifetime running from guards, I know how to disappear. For nearly an hour I waited there, suffering even more from hunger. You see, I was awake now, and I had the means to buy myself a feast. This knowledge tortured me. When I finally got to my feet, I very nearly fainted. I had only enough energy to walk to the other side of the village to a run-down tavern before collapsing at a table. I think I must have fallen unconscious for a moment before I heard the barmaid's voice. "Can I get you something to eat, Sarah?" I gorged myself on roasts and pies and huge frothing mugs of grief. As the fog of near-fatal starvation began to lift, I looked up from my plate to see a gold-masked stranger looking at me, his vizard glowing by the blinding light of the moon through the window. He wore black leather armor and was a different physique and size from the man I had burgled, but I could tell he knew. I paid for my meal quickly and left. I skirted the edge of the village through a tiled central courtyard, surrounded by the squalid peasants' cottages. There was not a light shining from any window or door. No one was on the streets. I could find no place to hide, so I took the road out of town, heading for the wilderness. Hunger had pushed me on in the days before, but now I felt what I imagined to be the whip of guilt, or perhaps, even then, it was fear. I fell twice, rushing down the dark path, unused to the slopes and pebbled texture. The sounds of animal life, which I had numbed to, were suddenly very loud in my ears, and there was something else out there in the night, something chasing me. On the side of the road, there was a low wall, and I scrambled over it and hid. I knew enough about concealment to pick a spot where the bulwark sunk slightly, so even if someone saw the outline of my figure, he would assume it to be part of a wall. It wasn't long before I heard the sound of running footsteps from more than one person pass me by and then stop. There was a moment of whispered conversation, and one of the people ran back on the path toward the village. Then silence. After a few more minutes, I peered out from behind the wall. A female figure in a dun gown, wimple, and veil stood in the road. On the other end of the road, blocking the way back to town, was a knight, coated in dark mail. I could see neither of their faces. For a moment I froze, unsure whether either or both had seen me. "Run," said the woman in a dead voice. The hill behind me was too steep, so I leapt over the wall and across the road in 2 bounds. Into the night forest I ran, the maddening jingle of the accursed gold in my pocket. I knew I was making so much noise my pursuers could not help but hear me, but now I cared more for putting distance between us than in stealth. Clouds of ash filtered through the moonlight, but I still knew it was too bright to hide. I ran and ran until I felt all my blood pumping in my head and heart, begging me to stop. I was at the edge of the wood on the other side of a shallow stream from a vast, crumbling house encircled by a rail fence. Behind me, running footfall in the broken, dusty earth. To the south, downstream, a distinct, sodden splashing of someone moving nearer. There was no choice. I half jumped and half fell into the mud and dragged myself up the bank on the other side. I rolled under the fence and ran through the open field toward the house. Jerking my head around, I saw 7 shadowy figures by the fence posts. The cloaked man I had robbed, the man in the gold mask, the veiled woman, the dark knight, 3 others too who had pursued me but I had never seen, and I thought I was the stealthy one. The moon was entirely hidden in a swarm of ash. Only the stars offered their meager illumination as I reached the open door of the ruin. I slammed and bolted the door behind me, but I knew there could be no protection for very long. As I looked about the ravaged interior of broken furniture, I searched for somewhere to hide, a corner, a niche where if I stayed very still no one would see me. A splintered table lying against the wall looked perfect for my purposes. I crawled under it and jumped when something moved, and I heard a frightened old man's voice. "Who's there?" "It's all right," I whispered. "I'm not one of them." His puckered, gnarled hand reached out from the shadow and gripped my arm. Instantly I felt sleep fall upon me, resisted as I might. The old man's horrible face, the face of the hungry dead, emerged as the moon came out and shone through the broken window. His talons still gripping me, I fell back, smelling his death surround me. The table was thrown back. There stood the 7 hunters and a dozen more. No, hunters they weren't. They were harriers who had chased me out of every hiding place, expertly pushing me to the lair of the real predator. He was weak with age, the old man was, not as good at the chase as once he was, a blunt killing machine. "Please," I said, it was all I could muster. Having enjoyed the sport I offered, he granted me mercy of sorts. I was not bled dry. I was not cursed by being made one of them, the burn. I was kept with others, most of us mad with fear, to be aged and tasted at the vampire's whim. We are called cattle. I lost all hope months ago of ever leaving the dank cellar where they keep us. Even if this note finds its way to the outside world, I cannot give enough information about my whereabouts to be rescued, even if some champion were able to defeat the bloodsuckers. I only write this to keep my own sanity and to warn others. There is something worse than being hungry, being food. Alright, so let's head through the other door now. Excuse me. Alright, let's head through here. Got another vamp to kill. He's got a little gold. Otherwise, nothing I care about. And that's it for this little tomb. So let's just loot this room. We have a scroll of restoration. Irrelevant stuff. And that is it. Alright. Let's head out and let's get moving back towards Ald'Ruhn. First thing I want to do is just get back to the main road. Same way we got down here in the first place. And now we can get back to following signs to Ald'Ruhn. Oh my gosh, excuse me. And you can see the Strider port and a little bit of Ald'Ruhn up there. I'm going to keep following signs to Ald'Ruhn, the Buckmoth Legion Fort. You can head into town there, but I'm not quite ready to head to town yet. First, we're going to take care of what is pretty universally agreed to be the worst escort quest in the entire game. We're going to deal with it now. Out here on the road, you will bump into this woman by the name of Beatrix Petilia, who I'll go ahead and talk to right quick. You there, yes you. I'm in need of an escort. You'll do in a pinch. Alrighty. There now. Ghost Fence, Ordinators, Saints, Solstheim, Escort. I need an escort to Ghostgate Shrine, and I need to be there in 2 days' time. I'll give you a tip when you get me there safely. I haven't got all day. Shall we go? Your journal has been updated. I will escort you there if I must. Good. Let's go, and be quick about it. Your journal has been updated. Oh. Beatrix Petilia stopped me on the side of the road near Ald'Ruhn. She claims to be a pilgrim on her way to Ghostgate Shrine. Her haughty attitude suggests a person who is used to being waited on. She'd like me to escort her to the Ghostgate Shrine, and she promises a tip if I deliver her there safely and within 2 days' time. I have agreed to escort Beatrix Petilia to Ghostgate. Although the trip shouldn't take too long, I have a feeling it might seem that way. This quest is miscellaneous, of course. Beatrix the Annoying Pilgrim. So getting to Ghostgate from here actually isn't too bad. She's just very, very slow. One of the slowest people we've ever had the displeasure of escorting. And she has the same death wish many of the people we have escorted in the past have demonstrated. So we want to proceed first as if we were heading to the Buckmoth Legion Fort. So if you look at the world map, you can see we've already been over here. Ghostgate's just a little bit east and south of Ald'Ruhn, so it's not too bad to get there. And they're actually pretty good paths. So we'll head here. There's the Buckmoth Fort. I'll be exploring the fort before I go to the town of Ald'Ruhn, so this is next as soon as we deal with Beatrix. So now we'll keep going as if we were heading to Ramimilk or Shushishi. But instead of going south, we're going to turn left and head north along this trail we can see right here. Just keep an eye on the racers. Let's keep my bow equipped. And one thing that's, you can just see it up there, we're about to catch our first actual glimpse of the ghost fence we've heard so much about. It looks a little cheesy now, but I have to admit, back in 2002, I found it very impressive. So this thing runs a full circle around Red Mountain at the center of the island, and theoretically exists to keep the Blight and the Blight monsters penned inside, but we all know that it isn't exactly working. Jesus Christ! Where's all this shit coming from that I'm not seeing it and it's just bum rushing her? Doesn't matter as long as she stays alive. Fuck you for that dodge. Alright, good. We'll let her catch up. Oh, for fuck's sake. I guess I'll start using some of these iron arrows I'm carrying. Alrighty, onward. Once you find the ghost fence, it's easy to find Ghost Gate. Just hug the ghost fence, and, logically, you'll eventually reach the gate that goes through the fence. Now, we'll be back to actually explore this region later. That is not happening right now. I don't even have the offering for the Ghost Gate pilgrimage with me, unfortunately. I missed twice. Oh. And then I unexpectedly hit, and I wasted yet another arrow because I drew too soon. Oh well. Let's head down here. Keep our eyes peeled for racers. Always. We're almost there now. Alright. She's caught up, and this is Ghost Gate. Like I said, we'll explore it later. The shrine is just inside the ghost fence, as advertised. Let's allow her to catch up again. Alright, so to get through, first you gotta hit this switch, which opens this outer gate. Make sure she gets through. Then you hit this one to open the inner gate. Once we're through, the weather will become an ash storm. There is no other weather inside the ghost fence until you finish the main quest. I just want to make sure the way to the shrine is clear. It's up here to the right, just inside the fence. Alrighty. So here's the Ghost Gate Shrine. So now we just need to let her catch up. I'm pouring myself a beverage. We bought too much. It was American Thanksgiving yesterday. I'm recording this on a Friday. We bought more than we were able to consume between the 8 of us. So there are leftovers today. I'm thoroughly enjoying it, of course, which is my prerogative as an of-age adult. Simple today, just a nice red wine. Well, we've arrived, surprisingly enough. Here's your tip. Now leave me. 100 gold added to your inventory. Your journal has been updated. Goodbye. We have arrived at the Ghost Gate Shrine. I've led Beatrix Petilia safely to Ghost Gate. She did indeed give me a tip for my services, but it seems rather meager compensation from someone of such obvious means. You are of no more use to me. Be on your way. Yep. That's part of why everyone hates her, too. The reward for her quest sucks ass. It's alright, though. I wonder why Fargoth gets more hate than her. I really do. Because if you look at the Morrowind community on Reddit and in other places, everybody really, really hates Fargoth. Fargoth does you a damn solid, man. Getting Ariel's disposition up before you could possibly have raised Speechcraft or Mercantile. All he's trying to do is hide his stuff from Hriskar and the other Imperials who, rather obviously, actually are shaking him down. What do people have against Fargoth? I don't get it, man. Anyway, with Beatrix dealt with, I am now going to head back the way we came. The next place I actually want to explore is the Buckmoth Legion Fort. Let's head on up there and see what there is to see. Check the exterior. I doubt there's anything except maybe some critters to kill, as is so often the case. Fuck you! And you too. Can see Ald'Ruhn from here. That's nice, but let's nuke a cliff racer. And let's check out the Buckmoth Fort. We will, of course, start here at the exterior. Alright, I guess we'll start by checking out these barrels, in case of useful stuff. Nothing there. Here's Shardy. She's actually interesting because she is the master trainer for Block. I think that's all that's really cool about her, but we'll find out. Alright. I don't think we've been introduced, Outlander. I'm Shardy. How can I help you? Abolitionists. Background. I'm Shardy, Crusader and Agent of the Imperial Legion. She has no interesting dialogue, so in fact, there is not really anything noteworthy about Shardy, except the fact that she is the master trainer for Block. It's not really a problem, though. I'll take those arrows, as well as the gold out of the barrel. That's just a guard. Oh, shoot. I'm close to running into carry weight problems. I'd like to hold off offloading until I'm done here and ready to head to Ald'Ruhn. Not that it makes a very big difference at this point, but... Alright, let's check the wall. Let me look at my local map, too. Okay, so there's some entrance into that tower. It's on the balcony. I haven't found the entrance to yet. There's an Imperial Archer. Okay, fair. Cool. Little platform down there. No real way to get to it except to jump. But doesn't appear there's anything important there either. And up here we can head to the towers. Alright, let's see what we can find in here. Buckmoth Legion Fort Towers. Well, that'll take us back outside. Let's go downstairs first. You go down one level, find a big long hallway, and connection to another tower, and an entrance to the interior. You keep going, and you find the prison. Okay. I guess we can start in this second tower. We are at the bottom level of it. Let's head up and out to the blank top of this tower. Interesting. Alright. Let's head back down now. We'll avoid the interior and the prison for now, because I want to go back and actually explore the first tower in its entirety. Let's go up to the top floor. So that takes us to another exterior. So really the only other zones we have are the interior and the prison. I think it makes sense to go to the prison first. But before we do that, I think it makes sense to check out the remainder of the wall. Alright. Oh, goodness. Now, what do we find in the prison? On this level, we've got cells, a guard captain, a chest marked evidence, which I am more than willing to spring open. It'll be empty at this point, that's fine. A guard, a trapdoor to a different prison zone. Alright. Here's Rolfim Gra Ogdob. What brings you here? She doesn't seem to have much to say. We can at least ask her about Solstheim. Let me guess. It's a terrible place, and there's, so you've heard, there's a boat from Kuhl if I have any reason to go there. Middle door is unlocked to start with. Here's another level 70 lock with Ald'Ruhn inside. Are you a prisoner? What are you in for? He, too, can be asked about Solstheim and nothing else. That seems to be it for this spot, so let's head through the trapdoor to a lower level. There's an empty cell, a guard, another empty cell, another empty cell, and an occupied cell. Wait, I want to use the apprentice's lockpick I had been using. Thank you. This is Thetrard Firianel. I'm innocent. I was framed. Oops. Well, he at least has more dialogue. Background. I am Thetrard Firianel, monk. Morrowind lore. The Blight is a health-threatening volcanic cloud full of ash. Plants and creatures in the Blight get blight diseases. Alright, that's it for him. So, let's proceed. We got that exit. This exit to the towers. According to my map, somewhere, oh, and that's it. Okay, okay. So we can head through the towers, and then from here we can head to the interior of the fort. That makes sense. Sometimes I wish I could just stream. I don't have a good enough internet connection. That's the reality. But it would eliminate time limits. It would make everything so much easier. Alright, well, immediately we are given the opportunity to speak with Reza Pullia. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm Reza Pullia, champion of the Legion garrison here at Buckmoth Legion Fort. I'm very busy right now, so please excuse me. Nah, I'm gonna bother you. Background. I am Reza Pullia, knight and champion of the Imperial Legion. Black Marsh. Most of the native Argonian population of Black Marsh is confined to the great inland waterways and impenetrable swamps of the southern interior. There are few roads here and most travel is by boat. The coasts and the northwestern upland forests are largely uninhabited. We've heard this already. I apologize. Cyrodiil, Empire, elsewhere. Excuse me. Law in Morrowind. By ancient house custom, offended house nobles appealing to house councils may refuse to accept compensation and may demand death for many crimes. Little advice. My notion of the ideal knight is an orc named Dumbuk Grobolak. He serves with the Legion under General Darius up in Nissus. You'll usually find him in the barracks. Look him up. He knows his trade, and Vardenfell. It's just for some reason she's willing to talk about provinces. Alright, cool. In this same room, we can speak with Siloria Ceruleolus. Whoa. Oh, welcome, Adept Travis. Can I tell you about our services? Or if you can donate more time and effort, would you like to become a lay servant? Background. I am Siloria Ceruleolus, traitor and adept of the Imperial cult. You are already a member of the Imperial cult, Adept Travis. Indeed I am. And I may be high enough rank that my Imperial cult blessings are free. I'm going to check right quick. I should have an opportunity while I'm here. Alright, yeah, nothing new there. No surprise. She didn't really have anything in her crate. Nor any of these books new. But you have been expelled from Imperial cult and your crime has been reported. No! Somebody pointed out that by this point I've got a pretty decent chameleon spell, and they're absolutely fucking right. So why don't we use it? That'll make picking these locks a little easier. Shadow Mask. 40 to 70. I got the low end of the available range at 42, but that's alright. And there's all her shit. That's fine. Let's do this one too while we're at it. Some lame-ass armor. Whatever, that's fine. Let's look at the shit under the table. Let's go ahead and loot the entire room. Why not? Apprentice lockpick used up. Whatever. There's a bunch of potions. Here's some nonsense. For my gods and emperor. Alright, we've read everything, so now let's talk to the others. Cosistian Quaspus. What a fucking weird name. People have, it's cool that Morrowind is somewhat more populated than later Elder Scrolls games, but people have, I think, accurately compared it to a wax museum. Too many utterly redundant NPCs who just say all the same shit as others. And clearly, they were having some trouble coming up with names for some of them. Cosistian Quaspus. Whatever. Alright. I don't think we've been introduced, Outlander. I am Cosistian Quaspus. How can I help you? I don't know. Let me check the UESP to make sure you actually can't, because I'm pretty sure you can't, but it's hard to be certain. Background. I am Cosistian Quaspus, apothecary and initiate of the Imperial cult. Oh, I'm higher rank than you, son. That's starting to happen in some factions. Buddhist rumors, blah, blah. Little advice. Tendris Vedran is the person I'd talk to if I wanted to know about the apothecary's trade in Morrowind. I've spoken with him on several occasions, and he's smart, well-spoken, and well-informed. Little secret, Morrowind lore. Blah, 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 blah. Thanks, Cosistian Quaspus. Let's visit Sagunavus Mantedius. Jesus. Cosistian Quaspus is worse, but this one's pretty bad. I don't believe I've seen a high elf with such a grand outfit in some time. Can I help you? I don't know, dude. You tell me. Background. I am Sagunavus Mantedius, savant and initiate of the Imperial cult. The fact that he's a savant and I have so few dialogue options suggests he must figure into some kind of quest. And in fact, he figures into a House Hlaalu quest, which we, unfortunately, will not have the opportunity to do without glitches. I think I may have mentioned this. There is a glitch that lets you join House Hlaalu as well as one of the other two houses. But it's not my intention to do that. I'm going to try and play this game with the exception of the skill grinding I did earlier, which is already done, of course. I'm going to try to play this game in the way it was meant to be played. They clearly only meant for you to be able to join a single great house. Here's Olquar. Grinding, let me put it this way, grinding doesn't rely on a glitch. Joining multiple great houses does. And I do not intend to take advantage of these glitches. Ulquar! I don't think we've been introduced, Outlander. I'm Ulquar. How can I help you? Apparently not at all. Unless you know some shit. Background. I am Ulquar, enchanter and initiate of the Imperial Cult. You're an enchanter, huh? Where are your fucking enchanting services, then? Blades, Carurel. He doesn't know much either. Alright, so we've got a tower in the southeast. A door to the outside. So that's that door. That's good to know. A tower in the northeast. I might as well loot the bottom of each of these towers, if nothing else. And this one too. Here's just a door deeper into the fort. I actually think it makes a little more sense to explore the towers first. Let's do the northeast tower. Virtually nothing. Alright. Then the southeast tower, which I will wager is also virtually nothing. And then all we're actually left with is this staircase deeper into the fort. Down here, we obviously have more people to chat with. Let's visit all of them. Here's Ald'Ruhn. Oh shit, homeboy sells spells. I don't think we've been introduced, Outlander. I'm Ald'Ruhn. How can I help you? Let's find out. Ooh, goody. What spells does he know? Summon Bone Lord. Summon Clan Fear. Temptation. And Heartbite. He knows a lot more spells than that. It's just that we already know all the spells he knows. Whenever you see a really teeny spell list, that generally means you already know most of the spells. Anyway, let's buy those. I forgot to admire his disposition. I forgot to get his disposition over 90. Who cares? I have so much fucking money, it doesn't matter anymore. Background. I am Ald'Ruhn, battle mage and champion of the Imperial Legion. Alrighty. Also here we have Yambagorn Gor Shulor. There are a bunch of other people in here too, but we'll chat with her first. I don't think we've been introduced, Outlander. I'm Yambagorn Gor Shulor. How can I help you? Background. I am Yambagorn Gor Shulor, Smith and Trooper of the Imperial Legion. Good. Blades, Empire, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah. Cartag Point. Oh, Cartag Point has changed, I hear. Now have to climb up big ugly statue to jump. Still good time, though. Can't wait to see if new statue is as high as rocket carved from. Haha. Latest rumors. Blah. Blah, 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 blah. I believe I have reached the point of intoxication. But I still feel functional. At least in terms of playing video games and recording videos. I certainly wouldn't fucking drive, I'll tell you that. There's an apprentice's armorer's hammer here, which, as usual, I would prefer to use in lieu of anything else until it's gone. Let's unlock her chest. Not that she actually has anything I want, clearly. But still. There's nothing else in this room, so let's chat with Hingor. I don't believe I've seen a high elf with such a grand outfit in some time. Can I help you? Oh goodness, he's a savant, maybe? He wants to talk about Ashlanders anyway. These actually all sound new because they're so short. We've usually gotten longer answers, I think. So you have Ashlander challenges. Honor challenges come from offense given in speech or action, or may represent customary formal challenges of status or ritual. Ashlander courtesy. Ashlanders may challenge a stranger who enters a yurt without invitation. Customs differ with different tribes, but leave when requested, and you may be forgiven. Ashlander customs. Ashlander challenges are very solemn and serious things. Do not make a challenge lightly. Ashlander gifts. Among Ashlanders, a gift is a token of courtesy among strangers and affection among friends. Ashlanders hate foreigners. Ashland's background. I am Hingor, scout and trooper of the Imperial Legion. Nerevarine cult. This is new in its brevity, I think, anyway. That's an Ashlander cult that believes that the ancient hero Nerevar will be reborn to cast down the temple and drive the Imperials out of Morrowind. I don't know why, but this sounds new to me too. Patamaic Ocean. The waters of the Patamaic Ocean completely surround Tamriel. The continent of Akavir lies across the Patamaic Ocean to the east, and the continent of Atmora lies across the Sea of Ghosts to the north. Visiting an Ashlander camp. It is safe to walk around an Ashlander camp, but risky to talk with Ashlanders, especially if you do not know their customs, since they may take offense at your speech and challenge you. Interesting. Cool. Atelavupus cadius. Whatever. Atelivupus catius. Man, they were running short on names. Good Lord. Still not quite as bad as Cocistian Quaspus, but pretty bad. Seriously. I don't think we've been introduced, Outlander. I'm Atelivupus catius. How can I help you? Probably can't. Let's check your dialogue, though. Background. I am Atelivupus catius, drill master and trooper of the Imperial Legion. Fine. That seems to be it for him. Over here we have Arnand Lyric. I don't think we've been introduced, Outlander. I'm Arnand Lyric. How can I help you? Show me your spells, Brohim. Cure poison. That's it. But it's worth learning. Alrighty. Background. I am Arnand Lyric, healer and agent of the Imperial Legion. Alright. I wonder why the Legion is lower than default disposition. Probably because of my rank in the Thieves Guild. Joining the Legion will fix that as soon as it happens, of course. But it's going to be a while yet before we get to Nissus. It's not a big deal. I know the Legion is friendly with the Imperial cult, and so the ranks there actually improve my disposition with Legion members. It's just, I don't know. Whatevs. Let's loot this room. There's nothing under any of the pillows. There are Homeboy's potions. Just a touch of gold here out of what is pretty obviously the barracks. Now let's head down here. We have Dulian and Imson the Dreamer. Well, first things first. I want that 5 gold! Oh, hell yeah. Okay. Next, let's get this wooden chest open. Potions. No surprise there. Let's speak with Imson the Dreamer. I don't think we've been introduced, Outlander. I'm Imson the Dreamer. How can I help you? Oh, I don't know. Let's find out. Ald'Ruhn is the site of an ancient, ruined wizard's tower on the western tip of a large island west of Sheogorid. Background: I am Imson the Dreamer, Master-at-Arms and Knight Protector of the Imperial Legion. Bandits. Bandits typically operate from secret hideouts in the backcountry, and the legions don't have troops or time to comb the wilderness for them. Okay, now let's chat with Dulian. Hey, she sells spells. I don't think we've been introduced, Outlander. I'm Dulian. How can I help you? I don't know. You have no spells that I don't already know. Sad for you, but at some point it was gonna happen. Alright, no new spells. Let's rip through the dialogue. Background: I am Dulian, priest and trooper of the Imperial Legion. Excuse me. That's it for her. Let's see if I'm high enough rank for blessings to be free. No, not Dulian. The altar. Would you like to make a donation of 0 and receive a blessing? I'm sure I would. What's good about this is you still have, as an Atronach birth sign, a 50% chance of simply absorbing the blessing. Ask for whatever blessing you like. Doesn't matter. It costs nothing, and as you can see, we absorbed it that time. So we refilled our magicka. Now, even restore magicka potions don't matter that much. There are people out there. I have in mind somebody in the Morrowind Reddit community who chewed me out for somebody who was, I don't think he called me stupid necessarily, but he claimed I didn't understand the game, didn't realize it was a game that rewarded creativity, and, most significantly to me, opposed choosing the Atronach birth sign. But all you have to do to get basically unlimited free magicka is advance in rank in either the Imperial Cult or the Temple. I intend to advance in rank in both. And then you can just use their altars. So, I have run into the town of Ald'Ruhn. I'm just going to show you the Strider port. I'll save actual dialogue for later. I will just, well, that's interesting. I can't use the Strider yet. Whatever. That's fine. I'll use the Mages Guild, not because I'm actually exploring anything yet, but purely because... Oh, damn. I can't do shit until I visit Byvale Tenerin, apparently. Well, that's interesting. All I really wanted... Well, I need to unlock fast travel. I didn't quite realize this quest was going to stop me from doing that. That's on me. That's a failure of research, so to speak. I think Byvale Tenerin is actually in the big area. Behold, Ald'Ruhn under Scar, the giant extinct crab where the Redoran counselors live. Just so you know, I'm gonna spend some time when I'm exploring Ald'Ruhn, admiring how creative and cool the architecture is. But let's go visit Byvale Tenerin. She has a quest of her own that I don't even want to take yet. I just want to hand over the shirts. I do not want to be exploring Ald'Ruhn quite yet. Rasha's shirts. Ah, you've brought the shirts from Rasha. Wonderful. He does such fine work, and he sells them to me for very reasonable prices. He's a careful sort, but that's just smart business if you ask me. Thank you for your help, and here's your payment. She took the shirts and gave us a belt of iron will. Let me check my list to see if that's a unique item. I don't think it is, but it's hard to know. So we'll check. Okay, it is not a unique item. So it goes. We just have it. Well, shit. I can probably fucking sell it to her. Bam. There we go. Now let's check our journal. Rasha's shirts have been successfully delivered to Byvale Tenerin the Clothier in Ald'Ruhn. As payment, she has given me a belt of iron will. Not a bad payment for a delivery job. No, indeed. Now, I would like to verify that I can use fast travel again. So if you watch my Skyrim... I'm getting drunk. If you watched my Skyrim playthrough, it should be obvious to you that the architecture here in Ald'Ruhn matches what we see in Ravenrock in Skyrim's Dragonborn expansion, and he's willing to take us to Balmora. Of course, I would greatly prefer just to cast a spell. Especially since I can now use Imperial Cult Altars to restore my magicka for free. I only feel the need to carry 100 iron arrows at any given time. So let's deposit, say, 346 of these. 100 iron arrows. Very good. Drop those. Drop gold brand. Drop the ice cap. Drop the comberry. And, I don't know, relax and enjoy everything else. Alright, cool. Let's head back to Ald'Ruhn now. I'll go by Guild Guide. That's cheaper. And involves a free Restore Magicka potion. Now don't worry, we'll check out the Ald'Ruhn Mages Guild soon enough. But first, I simply want to head outside. Now here we are in the town of Ald'Ruhn, the council seat of House Redoran, one of the 3 cities, I should say, other than Vivec, and pretty important quest hub. We've been going for about 90 minutes. I think this is a wonderful opportunity for a break in episodes, so I'm going to end the video here. This has been Let's Play Morrowind. We did the game's most annoying escort quest. We cleared out a tomb of Quara vampires, and we fully explored the Imperial Legion Fort of Buckmoth near Ald'Ruhn. Next time, we will actually explore the city of Ald'Ruhn, the Redoran Council seat, with all of its associated quests. Frankly, I'm unconvinced I can fit it into one episode, even if I push it to 2 hours, as I have done in the past, but I'll do my best. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy my videos, please consider clicking an ad, liking, sharing, or subscribing, any or all of which will really help me out. There is nothing on the planet I would love more than to make enough money off of gaming videos to stop lawyering as a day job. Regardless, please know that I really, genuinely do appreciate the time you spend watching. I realize my videos are long. My default is 1 hour, and sometimes I go 2. Time is valuable, and I really, really appreciate those of you who spend your time watching my videos. I've never met many of you, but in a very strange sense, I feel like I know you anyway, especially the ones who comment. You certainly know me. Until next time, thank you so much for watching, and until then, have a fantastic day. Whatever it takes, just enjoy yourself. I think it's 90% mindset, 10% what you experience. So, decide you're going to have a good day, and then have a good day. Bye-bye.